Monday at 10 o'clock, 21st of June. And I've had several requests from members of my accounting class and others to do a few minutes on how I do research, particularly maybe how I do stock research or how I do research for academia. Both are sort of the same thing, but also in the midst of that, and you'll notice in the title of this recording that I'm going to talk a little bit about study habits and tips that I found helpful in building a methodology for my own academic endeavors and writing endeavors. I write, and I have a way of doing it, and maybe it'll be helpful to you. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just be. It will urge you to find your own technique, which is, basically what this lecture is in a nutshell. Is find what you're comfortable with and do it, execute. So this particular talk is a function of me saying to myself, what's the best way to get this point across, or to get this lecture across, this information across, and communicate it? What's the best way to do that? And when I was asked, I said, well, gee, I should go down to Glenwood anyway and say hello to everyone, and I think I'm teaching here in the fall, and I'm going to go into an IBF room. I think that's what we call this, but this is a WebEx room, so there's cameras in it, and there's a smart board behind me that I'm sharing the screen on. Hopefully I'm little and the screen is what you're seeing. And so immediately, I went through a little thought process to say, what's the best way to do this? It's going to take me the least amount of time, because time is the problem. And if you're in a community college like this one, we're sort of a hybrid college because we have both 4-year degrees and 2-year degrees. You could call it a junior college. You could describe it that way, but it's really not, because my BA is from here. My undergraduate work is in business administration. Is from here. So we offer these 4-year degrees. I had to get, and my degree work is recent. My master's work was at Regis. It was in 3 areas: finance, strategic management, and accounting. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that it was at 51 credits altogether. It was a lot of Sundays. I'm a family guy. I have 2 kids. I have a wife who I would much rather spend time with than most anything else. And things like that. There's recreation. There's also I have a real job that takes up almost 40 to 60 hours a week. Lately, a lot. 60. I'm putting all that time into researching and investing in the markets. So, how do I fit? Let's say I would like to begin writing online. I'm putting a resume out there and seeing if I can get some bites on getting my writing out there. So I have to send a writing sample with a resume. So I can show you what I'm doing right now, and that way maybe you get an idea of how I do stuff, and then you can say, well, I'll do that, but I'll change this, and da-da-da-da-da. But the first thing, of course, is that idea that have a plan. Have a plan. What's the plan? Plan your work. And these are just study habits. When? Are you an AM person or a PM person? Right? AM, PM. If you have children or you have a job, Maybe you've got to get up really early in the morning. I don't know. I'm a morning guy. I have a 12-year-old, Alice, and my wife, Kelly. They're not real morning people. So it works out well. I get up at 6 a.m. and I do my thing. I can get a lot of research done at 6. From 6 to 9. I'll share with you that I also have a spiritual discipline that I take care of. Then I'm a Catholic, but I'm also, as many of you know, in recovery from alcoholism. So I do a thing to get centered. It takes about 30 minutes usually, but I get up early and I get ready for the day, and then I hit it. Plan your work. What do you do first? Do you check email first? Is that going to be a distraction? What do you do first? If you're hell bent on, if you have a business or you're doing something and you have to be on Facebook or other social media, do you want to take care of that first? And then shut it off? Do you need to put your phone in another room when you're going to be doing schoolwork? Do you do your work on a laptop? What do you do? What do you do with it? Do you need to give it to someone else or lock it somewhere? I don't know. Is this because if you're spending too much time doing this, you're never gonna focus. And everybody, I understand, the administration's listening right now. Not everybody's ADD. That's bullshit. Straight up. If you think you're ADD, you're probably not. Whatever ADD is now, attention deficit disorder. No, we just have a lot of distractions today. You can tell when I have a deadline because my YouTube usage spikes. Does that make sense? Because I'm looking at, I don't know, music from the 70s that I think I ought to get caught up on. And if you really think you are ADD, go see a doctor. But be careful, I'm not a doctor. I just think that ADD is way overdiagnosed. And I think way too many people are medicated. But you don't have to think that. You can think I'm wrong. So do you check email? Do you get rid of your social media, whatever your chores are here? We call them chores. There's like feed the chickens, put your boots on, whatever you do. Are you going to get rid of those chores? And if those chores take 2 hours, maybe you should take a look at that. Just saying. Plan your day. Right? 24 hours. That's a good increment. Just look at the day. Maybe for a minute. Maybe you do this first. I don't know. Maybe that belongs there. But people who plan their day do better. Don't plan 2022. I don't think. I think it's a good idea to say, what am I gonna try to get done today? And set it up so that you don't make a list that's too crazy long. I'm gonna what is it gonna look like? Let's say I'm gonna make my list here. Read chapter 4 in accounting. Right? Right? Do problems. Math. Right? Whatever it is. What is possible in the time frame that you have? See, matching 6 to 8 a.m. I've got 2 hours. what can I realistically do in 2 hours, right? What can I do in 2 hours? Hard to say, you know. It's difficult to know what I can do, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and set myself up so I can do these things in a time period. And maybe I'm going to split the day and go, well, I have 6 to 8 a.m. and then I'm going to have 7 to 9 at night, you know, within reason. I'm going to do a few things then. You know, that it's all, but if you have a plan, you have a plan. You know, if you got a plan, then you're going to get something done. You know what I mean? And stick to the plan. Now, other people will tell you, well, put it all on your phone or do this and that. I tend to be, I'm the type of guy that I like to write it down. I like to either, you know, put it on a sticky note or a piece of paper. My wife, Kelly, has a day planner that she lives and dies by. I just sent her an ad for an electronic one that you can use a pen on. I don't think she'll do that. I think that she's got a system that she's been using for at least the 20 years that I've known her. But day planners are handy if you're going to use your phone. There's ways to do that, and I think they can be effective. I like to write stuff down. Then, the next thing about having a plan and executing on the plan is making sure that you don't have distractions. You know, I mentioned social media, but if you have children and you're married or you have a boyfriend or you know whatever, you're going to say, you have to communicate with people and say, no, when I close the door on this office, or if I close the door on this spare bedroom, that means I'm working and I'll be out in an hour. Please honor my, you know, right? So you're gonna find a space to work in, right? So now, you know, and everybody quickly when you go to school, you're like an entrepreneur. You're your own boss. There's nobody there going, hey, you didn't get anything done today. Eventually, you know, it's going to be me, your professor, saying, hey, you didn't get anything done all semester. But it's up to you. And honestly, your education's up to you. I care, but I'm not here forcing you. It's not, you know, K through 12, and I'm not your parent, you know. But find a space to work in. You know, what's it going to be? You know, if you're lucky enough to have an office, library. This building is empty. It's virtually empty right now. There's no one in it. Now, I understand it's Monday morning. Most people are at work. But any campus building, any of these campus buildings have they have a computer center. And the funny thing, I want to make a plug for the Quigley Library because we're going to get there. This is at the that's up at Spring Valley. The Quig, we call it. It's quiet, but there's resources there. There's people, and I'm going to show you some of those. And again, you know, when you're on campus, at least, there's always a professor wandering around, and I probably every one of us is dying to read that paragraph you just wrote. Honest to God, we are. It's part. You know, I want you to ask me a question. So that's why I'm doing this on a Monday morning. I took time out of my day to do this because I wanted to. So campus buildings, hey, if you can do it in the park, I don't know, or in your car, or what. Some people, I'm one of these. I'm very fortunate. I can work anywhere, and I can work while they're tearing up the street next to me. I can work at a construction site. I'm my father's son. I don't think he ever had an office. He worked on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and it was cacophony. It was crazy. It was loud. It was like working at a rock concert. So the idea that I need quiet or I can't be interrupted. I'm not that guy. I can be interrupted. I'm good. Alice can come in and goof on me. I don't have any trouble. And I can be productive. Know thyself, right? That's half the battle. If you're a person that has to have that concentration, do that. Find that. Communicate with your spouse or your loved ones and say, I cannot focus if I have all these distractions. Try and get better at it. Unplug everything in the room if you have to, but certainly get rid of the phone if that's going to be a problem. But know who you are. So find a space and then get organized, right? So you've made a list of what it is you need to do. You've gotten centered, sort of, if that's what you need to do. You found a space to do your work in, right? And now you're going to start doing it. So what's that look like? Well, here's where we get into my system, and I go, well, I start every course with a thumb drive. And I'll show you what I mean. I have one here. I'm going to plug into this. Look at this is, and I'll show you. I'll come up close and show you. Here's this thumb drive. This is an oldie. I'm not even looking at the camera. This is an oldie, but it says on it undergrad work and spiritual exercise. But it's got a bunch of stuff on it. But I know exactly what's on it. I've got like a drawer full of these with different things on there. Immediately, I can take it anywhere. It's portable. I can plug it into a computer at work or at the library over here. So I have what I need with me. So I'm going to plug this into this PC over here. And you don't have to worry. One of the things you don't have to worry about at CMC is it won't save anything on that PC. So your secrets are yours. It won't. You won't open up the PC the next time and all your stuff is there, and you're like, oh my gosh, who looked at it? We have what's called a freeze out security system, and it freezes that stuff out when you close. So I'm going to go here and here. And I'm going to show you. Here's this thumb drive. Where'd I go? Oh gosh, I gotta put it back in now. I took it out. I wanted to open it. There it is. Open folder to view files. There they are. Look at all the stuff I got in here. Look at this. This is 2013, way back when. SUS 321. I can show you a few things in here. But at this time, I was still sort of developing my methodology, how to do this. So I kind of I put a bunch of stuff together. I didn't think I needed that much. Now, I've saved certain things that I really like, and I put them places. But I'm terribly critical of my work, and not all of it came out the way I wanted to. But let's take a look, fall 2013. This is what I took. Eco T27, which is stats, ENV 101. I had to take a science course. Looks like it into it. 331, 490, 498, 336. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses I took that semester because I wanted to get out of here. But now you can look in stats. Look at the stuff I have in here, right? I have week 1, week 3. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's the final project. You know, all kinds of different, and I labeled them the way I wanted to. And so let's go back and look in here. This is just like a this is just like a filing system, but I use it. Here's it for America's Power, another Chinese coal mine, a Cleaver's home energy audit. I remember doing all this stuff. I had Phil Halliwell for this course. It was a great course. It was fun. We disagreed on almost everything, but he was a great guy and was willing to listen to my opinions, nonetheless. So that gives you kind of an idea of how I set things up. Now let's look at something. Let's see. 488 strategic management. Let's see what I wrote in here. Case studies. All right. Here's a case study that I wrote for strategic management 488. Accept, close, yeah, okay. Notice that I start up here with who this is for, right? And I'm Professor Wenger. That's Chris Wenger. Has Father Daniel. Oops. Is this going to be a problem? Let's see what's going on here. Let's make that bigger. Let's make it smaller now. Oh, I know what's going on. I got to do this. This is kind of important if you're a Smartboard fan. Do this. You'll see that sometimes this thing gets where it doesn't want to. Okay, now we have this. Let's go smaller. Oh my God. What have I done? Start over. Case study 1. Okay. I did something screwy to this. Anyway, you can see how I set this up. Let's go to case study 2 because I messed that. Oh, all right. Where's view? Not web layout, print layout. That's better. That's what I want. So, Professor Wenger, 7th January, that's the way he wanted it. Competition in energy drinks, sport drinks, and vitamin-enhanced beverages, and I went through the assignment questions here. It's not going to let me do what I want to do. Oh, I need to go here. So when I did this assignment, I used a very specific format that he asked for, in answering these questions. But in general, I use the same thing on every one of them. And as long as he doesn't say to me, hey, I'd rather you did it this way. But he was very specific in the beginning of the course in the syllabus of how he wanted things handed in. So I put the question in italics, and then I answer the question. And I put, you can see here, I put a graphic in. Right, here's another graphic that I put in. I want to get down to the, look where I cited these graphics of market in decline, business source complete. Okay, so what would I do to start something like this? Let me look for a paper so that I can show you exactly what's going on. Or we'll start a fictitious paper, one or the other. Case studies. So if I'm going to write a paper, there's my letterhead, look at all these recommendations, and I have a lot of weird stuff in this one. Essentials of finance. Did I write any leadership ethics and social responsibility? Let's see if that's a paper there. Oh no, that's an article. ELP reflection paper. Okay. That was a good paper. I don't know. Let me try another one. Extra credit journal, wilderness workshop. Well, either way, let me Age of Global Warming book review. Here's a good one. Dara from Popper. Oh, that was a great book. Good one to read. Corporate personhood debate. These are just notes that I took here. All right. Well, let me go in here and show you just what I do when I begin to write. So what after you find the place and the what it is you want to do, you're gonna start a document. Basically, start a document. Oh, I know where I'll take you. I'll take you to some of my old courses, and you can see in them what I've done. Here's the old courses. Here's it. Boom, these all courses. Let me go down into economics, principles of economics. Let's say we go into micro and 18, and I have in files here, I have some old papers. These are sample papers that I would have you write. Here's one on supply and demand. So what did I do to write this paper? This is one I wrote for graduate work, but it's really not. It's so simple. It's almost silly. The first thing I have here is I have this title page I have a title page that I run every course. This is for not MLA but APA, okay? And that's what the title page looks like on every one of them. And it has a running head on it. It has this running head up here and I can't. Why am I not writing? because it won't let me. Maybe I can write with this. Nope. All right, that's fine. Anyway, the running head is right there. And what I do is, if I'm going to start another paper, I'll take this paper, my old paper, and I'll change it. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to write a paper on market. Let's see, the stock market today. The stock market in 2021. Let's just call it that. Now, immediately, what I want to do is I want to save this as something else. So where am I going to save it? Well, I'm going to save it in this college thing, and I'll save it in, I'll save it right up front here. It doesn't matter. And we will call this James Cleaver stock market 2021 June, right? So now I know exactly what that is. It's going to be in this college folder. You would do it in such a way that now I've preserved my old paper. It's still there, but I'm just changing to this new paper, and I'm using the old paper to write over it. I have a running head here. Well, I can change that. I click into my header, and I go, how do you do this? Stock market. You go stock market, and some profs want all caps on that. That's sort of an argument with APA. But it gives you that running head, so you know that you're in the paper, prepared for, let's just pretend it was Dr. Pawanga, who's a brilliant guy. Then I would just go June, oops. I would go June. Ooh, I have the cap locks on. It usually prompts me to give June 21st. There it is. It's the solstice today, isn't it? But anyway, and you can see that my formatting is a little off. But in this paper, I'm going to have 4 items. And in a lot of papers, you have these items. You have purpose. I used to be able to write over here. I don't know why I can't anymore. But we're going to go down here anyway and say, well, we have purpose, review of the literature, findings, and summary. Those are the 4 areas. That's the way Luca wanted all of his papers, and that's the way I prepared them. I have an opening page, and then I have at the end, I have this reference page. Okay, so I got a reference page. How do I handle that? Well, I use this thing called CiteFast, and CiteFast is right here. I can go here. Let's open another one of these, and I use this automatic bibliography thing called CiteFast.com. Here it is. And I can log in, and it remembers me from Regis. Verify email and password. Oh, you may need to recreate your account. Oh, no. Really? When did this happen? Log in. Verify email. Oh, that just sucks, dude. Anyway, I used to have and use MLA or whatever you want to use, APA 7. Oh, it just stinks. Let's see if it's got me at here. Nope, everything's gone. So we'll create an account. Oops. God damn it, I'm having a heck of a time today. I don't know if you noticed. Jesus. Cleaver. And I'm going to use my Colorado MTN.edu. I think that should do it. Really? Okay, I think I should be okay. There it is. I'm going to save that. And then I can start looking stuff up. And when I look stuff up, let's say I look up War and Peace, right? Tolstoy. Oh, it wants a URL. Let's do book, War and Peace. War and Peace. By Tolstoy. I'm gonna save this over here, and look at I'm gonna up here. I'm gonna do create new bibliography, and if I was doing this paper, right, on the stock market, I would say stock market 2021, or maybe I would say, and this is what I wish I could have shown you, Fin 331. I could make it a bibliography for that particular course. And then I start just shoving stuff in to those references all the time. And they're, in that way, all my references will be here, 1, 2, 3. So anytime during the course, or if I want to go back to Fin 331, now this didn't work out because they got hacked, but you could copy them and paste them, and there's nothing there that I haven't put somewhere else, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm in APA, I'm in Fin 331, and I've got my references. Now I can start a reference page. So when I do this, immediately I go all the way down here, and so I end up in this new paper. I end up with, I take my old paper, and I just start deleting stuff. I go like this. I don't need this. Boom. Boom. Remember, this paper's already saved somewhere else. I've got a new paper here. So I'm just going to do this and get rid of this crap. And there's my summary. Here's my references. I'm going to keep them on a separate page. But I can, if I need these, maybe it's another economics paper, and I need Krugman and Wells, which is my textbook. So I'm just going to leave that there. But I can write over this stuff, and it'll alphabetize. But as I write my paper, I'm going to put my citations down there. So it's not some mad scramble at the end. I can do it quickly. The whole idea behind this exercise is to streamline the way I do this crap, so I don't have to do it. It's Sunday. I want to be with my family. I need to get a 4-page paper out, like pronto. And so a little bit of planning goes a long way, especially a little bit of planning on the mechanics of this. So if I have a constant title page, I don't have to format a Word every time. I don't even remember how to format Word to do this running head anymore. I'd have to Google it to figure it out. So it doesn't, I don't have to do that crap. I just do this. I write over it. Here I've got my sections. All my research papers are the same, depending on what prof I've got. So this might be intro instead of purpose. review the literature, findings and summary. There might be in the middle here, there might be analysis. Analysis, there should be. Analysis, findings, and summary, right? So I have these 4 sections of this paper that I'm going to fill in as I go along. Now, what am I going to do to research what's going on in the stock market? Okay, I got an idea. What's my thesis? Well, maybe I'm going to put my thesis at the top of my paper. So my purpose is going to have my thesis in it, and I want to click these off. The stock market in 2021 is wildly overvalued. That's my thesis. That's what I think. That's what I think in my head. Now I'm going to go out and find out whether that's true. So, how do I find out if that's true? Well, let's look around. What's my first source? Well, I don't know. Let me go to CNBC because that's how I roll. This is me. I just go to this. What are they saying about the stock market? It's up 500 points today. Comeback rally gains steam. Bitcoin sinks. Right? But what I think that stocks are overvalued. Well, maybe I would search that. Right? Maybe I would put that in the search box. What comes up? Wall Street analysts are split on Oatley's tapering could make stock dangerous on the downside. What does that mean? So let me look at that. Investor Dan Niles. Well, who's Dan Niles? The eye-popping trading meme stocks like AMC will come at once, and once the Federal Reserve begins tapering back its bond purchases. What does any of that mean? Who's the Fed? Could make meme stock dangerous on the downside. What's a meme stock? Now I have to find out what all these things are. If I'm an undergrad like you are, I may not know what the hell any of that means. What's a meme stock? Right? Well, I can get a definition. This is a new term. Let's see. Investment U. I don't know. Why are they? In fact, it's a question. What are meme stocks? Become the center of attention for investors throughout the end of 2020, much of 2021. Most controversial topics in the industry at the moment. Any publicly traded company that's facing excessive trading volume from retail investors on social media. I would call that a mania. In the olden days, we'd call that a mania, but they call it a meme. So I found something out. That's how we do research. It's like you're 5 years old again, or 10, and your teacher in 4th grade says, look it up. Look it up. What's the Fed? I don't know. Well, it's a central bank. The Federal Reserve is a central bank. It's our central bank, as a matter of fact. Now, I have some ideas for my paper, right? That I can base this on. But let's go to the library. Let's go to how I would look up some things in the library. Let's go back to Basecamp. Here's Basecamp. If you look over here on the right-hand side of resources, you'll see, where are they? CMC directories, libraries. You see down here, libraries. I can point at it here. Here's libraries. Now look at it. Here's where we are. I don't know where you are or what you prefer, but I prefer the Spring Valley campus. So I always click on it. Now look at here. There's a Quigley Writing Center. Okay, now they have a thing here. It says the Writing Center may not be providing any face-to-face appointments during the summer. College-wide online tutoring is available. See the tutoring schedule provided below. Okay, so if you're having tutoring troubles, you might want to do this. Click on the tab for your subject, right? So you could go to writing. Right? Comma drama, that's funny. It's always comma drama. Look at Steve Forster, great writer. Okay, great writer. That's where these people are. Tutor stepped away from their computer, click notify host, and they will jump back in. Please use these sets for writing or presentations in any class, including help with outlines, citations, formatting, organizations, and clarity. They'll help you out. Okay? 11 to 2, 11 to 2. Every day except Fridays and weekends. All right? 12 to 3, 12 to 1:30. Now, this is fantastic. Take advantage of this. Okay, back to CMC libraries. That's writing. I'm going to go back. Ooh, I can click back that way and go back to my Glenwood Springs and Spring Valley, which is where I like to live. Here's our new, I have not met Abraham, but I know Becky Kramer really well and Ms. Cook, and I know Lily, of course. These are really good people. They will help you out. Here's the summer hours. If you want to drive up there and sit in a kiosk or sit in the main room and get help, they'll come over to help you. They're just wonderful people. They really love research. Becky Kramer loves research. I mean, and when I'm stumped, I think I'm pretty darn good at it. And when I'm stumped, I call Becky. Like I said, I haven't met Abraham. I'm sure he's just as damn good. But I'm gonna give my accolades to her because I know her so well. So, Spring Valley Messengers. Oh, this is historic student newspapers. We should have another student newspaper, by the way. Quickly, computer lab hours, regular hours, checkout periods, 28 days, all that stuff. If you don't have a library card, get one. Now, when I go in here, let's say you're in a business class, one of mine, and you can go into these course guides, and I'm not in here, I don't think, sustainability, but some are. There's course guides in here. English 121 and 122. Oh, here's business and economics resources. Okay, they've got books here. Here's the Wall Street Journal. Look at it. Now I clicked over to Wall Street Journal. So even though you don't get it the way I do, I get it like this. I get it because I have a subscription. I get it like the front page. It looks like this, right? You can get it online here, right? Field code search tips. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you can look up anything. So you could say, you could go, okay, I want to look in periodicals like this, stock market bubble, right? Risky assets and bubble stocks have deflated just like in 2000. When was this? 9,700 results. Most recent first. Okay, June 18th. That was Friday. U.S. stirs global inflation fears. That's a good one, right? That's interesting. That might help my cause. Red hot economy drives global inflation, forcing foreign banks to act, raising rates. So, and when you click on it like this, it takes you to the article, the full, you know, the full article, right? Tesla and other bubble stocks have deflated just like 2000. You know, their bubble worries hit. So you can start to get an idea. This may flesh out what I'm heading for. I don't know. The whole idea behind research is to allow the research to guide to guide you, not you guide the research, right? And that's how you try to overcome your internal biases. Right? I have these biases. I think there's a bubble. I think there's a bubble. Okay, I think that stocks are way overvalued. So there's the journal. That's nice. What else can we do? Here we've got Business Source Complete. We've got LexisNexis. Now it used to be LexisNexis. Now it's Nexus Uni. That's incredible databases. We've got Statista, CalcBench. This is really robust. You can look up any stock you want in here, and we get this free as well. You can log into this, right? Join or log in. This is, you can see I'm already loaded in here. Keep me logged in, okay. Right, so I'm ready to go. You can put in a company like Ford or whatever you want, and it'll Ford's ticker is F. And it'll tell you all sorts of things about Ford. This is great for accounting 122. So that is fascinating. What about this box up here? This is the real box. This is EBSCO, and I want to see whether it does the right thing. Let's look this up. Let's just search. Now you remember what my thesis was: wildly overvalued. It might not like that word, but we could put overvalued. We could put bubble in. Bubble is kind of a catchy word. We could put stock market overvalued in and see. Now you can see it's logging into this other EBSCO thing. Result list. Okay. Searching. Wow, look at all this. And stock market data, stock market ultimate guide. Now let me see. Let me put stock market bubble in there. That doesn't look right to me. I think something's wrong here. That's kind of weird. Keyword, title, or author, peer review article, all collections. Let's put stock market bubble. Okay. And here we are. Here's our results. 1,900 of them. Yeah, this doesn't look right. Something's wrong with there. But anyway, Inside Trade. It's got articles here. Rational bubbles in real housing stock market, empirical evidence. So we can narrow our search and say, well, I only want I only want peer-reviewed stuff. Page options, view thumbnails. Yeah, this is not formatted correctly. But let's look at one of these. Okay, here's a prediction of 2015 stock market bubble, diagnosis and prediction. It's got a URL thing. Oh, this looks terrible. Citation instructions. It's loading this. Something's wrong with this right now, so I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to go out of it. But that, if you go in there and everything's working, there's something glitchy going on. It was doing the same thing at my house, and I thought it was my internet, but it's not. We have collections here, discipline guides here. We can go to business and economics here. Online collections, all collections peer-reviewed. So again, that's just another way in here. We've got Calc Bench, all this different stuff. And then, so I wanted to go into there, but the other thing I want to show you outside of our libraries is Google, and I haven't been running Google lately because I'm mad at them, but that's okay. Here's Google. Google has a thing, confirm to make sure it's still right for you. Okay, no thanks. Google has a thing called Google Scholar. And Google Scholar is here. You can find it anywhere. If you go over here in the sandwich deal, you can go into My Library. And, oh no, I want to hook it up. My profile, affiliation, Colorado Mountain College. At coloradomtn.edu, business, don't have one. And then it should hook me up with all kinds of stuff. Oh no, maybe it's not there. Let me go in here, My Library metrics, settings, search include, don't show any library links. Okay, so now I go to Colorado Mountain College, and I want to link my library. Colorado Mountain, here we go. Save. So it's going to link me to our library and let me know if these articles are available at the Quig. If they aren't available here, here's articles from Google Scholar. We can go since 2020, right? Does investor sentiment prevent near-term? Did bubble activity intensify during COVID-19? Simulation of artificial stock market bubble based on prospective investment behavior. Look at it all. Right now, this is what EBSCO looks like when it's running correctly, somewhat like this. Includes citations. So look at, you can go, this one's in Springer. You can tell where they are, ResearchGate. Where else? Let's see. Stock market bubble is here. What's next? Let's look at that one. Here's the abstract. And I can read the abstract to see whether maybe it's something I could use. The economy and the stock markets have disconnected. Yeah, economic growth is almost as bad as it's ever been. Conversely, the stock market is nearly as expensive as it's ever been. Some want to reconcile the two. Others don't care. Where you sit is a good indicator of an investor versus a trader. Okay, so what can I do? Here it is in PDF form, I hope. Here it comes. Institutional login. Now, a lot of these have institutional logins, and you can go Colorado Mountain College. This is Informant. Let's see if they let us in. Couldn't find any. Colorado, I spelled it right. So maybe we can't get there, but this is when you would go to Becky and say, hey, I want this article. Can we get it online, right? So here's EPUB. It's not going to give it to me. Individual login, buy now. You can buy it, but we don't want to buy it. We want to get it from the Quig, and she's probably got it there. So let's go back to Google stock. Here's one, Science Direct. Nah, we don't want that one. U.S. Can dividend policy rescue the efficient market hypothesis? This one's in the Journal of Corporate Finance. Again, download PDF. Download this article, and it gave it to me. Look at, so I can read it. Right? Now within this thing here, it gives me these, also viewed these articles, which is fabulous. I think that this we can sign in through Colorado Mountain College. Now here's, it'll give me the citation, and if you use any of these, it'll export it to your text, and you can figure out how to do that, which is pretty cool. But if I have my site fast up, I can do this. I can copy this and paste it. And I think I have site fast up. So it's a journal. So I'm going to put it in there and see if it fires up. It's thinking. There it is. Is that the right one? Tony Klein, Samuel Vinn. Let's see. Tony Klein, Samuel Vinn. Yeah, looks like the right one. So I'm going to click on that one and save the citation. So there it is. Now it's in my site fast. And I can take and from here, I can do, let's say I took a quote from here and I put it in my paper. Let's see if we can find a quote. The present value model of stock price, commonly used dividend discount, when considered one of the most common. Here we go. And I'm not going to cite those guys. I'm going to cite this paper. So let's say I put that somewhere in my review of the literature, right? I pasted it in there. And we'll take this out. And you wanted to cite it, I go back here to my citation page and I go in text, and there it is. And my citation, I copy that and I stick it in here, and it's perfect. It's right. And I'm going to do page, whatever, it's page 1, I think. Delete 01, right? So I'm done. I didn't paste it right though, did I? Delete. So if I go paste, I want to paste merge formatting, right? So it's the same formatting as this one, which is New Times Roman. That's Verdana. I want New Times Roman. Delete. Let me see. Keep source formatting, merge formatting. It should do it in that New Times Roman, did it? No, it didn't. Anyway, we can change it. Make sure that you do that so that it's all the same. And should be up here. You suck. Let me see. Times New Roman. That's what my problem is. T. S. T. S. T. Times New Roman. So I do that. It's Verdana. I want Times New Roman. And 10.5. Is that what this was? 12. No, I want 12 for a font. And you may be better than that at that than I am. But that's how I would do an in-text thing there. And then of course I have it if I want to click on it. I don't want to quit exit. I want to copy it, so I don't need my in-text anymore. I just need to export it, or I can clear this bibliography, copy and paste. So I would select it, export to, and I want to copy it, and I would go back to my paper and go down here, and let's say I'm gonna get rid of this. I have to do it with my cursor. But maybe I think I'm going to need this. So maybe I'll just put this one here. Paste, references. Oh, now it's in that weird Verdana thing. I don't want that, so I'm going to do it. There it is. So that's it. But I have to get my... format correct. So I want to do this and that, and then I'm going to do, I got to indent here. And you can set these indents the way you want them so that it's correct. Okay. So that's the way I do citations. You can figure out your own way that's quicker if you want. Some people are really good at that, importing those citations all the way as they go along. So there's a few little tricks there, right? There's a few little things that you can think about while you're writing, and then you get into the actual writing, and if you haven't taken 121, 122, especially if you're a new student or a student like I was, that was coming into English. Writing again, I hadn't written for a while. I'd written for business, but I hadn't written a certain type for academia. I needed to learn it again. I needed someone to take me through it, and a lot had changed since I had quit writing in that way. So taking those courses is great. How to read scholarly articles. Look at all these. MLA, APA. The other source that I think is really fabulous, and almost everyone uses it, I'd have to ask if it's gone out of favor, is the Purdue Owl. Right, here's the Purdue Owl. The Purdue Writing Lab, okay, online writing lab, it's fantastic. Welcome to the OWL. General writing, research and citation, APA style introduction, right? It tells you all this stuff, and it gives you tips and stuff that are better than mine. A lot of them, they're all these people are just trying to help you be more efficient and quicker at your writing. Of course, if you're doing serious research, it does take time. If it didn't take time, everybody would be doing it. So, remind yourself that that you need to set aside time and carve out time in your life to be in school. You can't just wing it, and do it once a week for 2 hours. It's just not going to work. You're not going to have good results. So style guide and all that. Use the Purdue OWL. I think it's a great thing. Now, when it comes down to great research, understanding which websites and things that you like best is really important. And I'll just give you an example by saying, this is how I do stock research. And these are the websites that I've gotten used to using. First and foremost, I read the Wall Street Journal every day. I just read it every day. When I find when someone calls me or my dad calls and says, "Hey, what about this stock? What about XYZ?" Sometimes I'll put it in here, like Big Five. Where's BGFV? BGFV. Let's say I liked Big Five here. It's up 5% today. Well, what's going on with Big Five? Well, we could go to, this is what I use, FinViz, Financial Visualization, Big Five. It's free. All these are free. Big Five, there it is. Look what it did here. Went up and then down. These are, each one of these is individual days. I hope it's hit a bottom and it's going to go up again because I got creamed here. Here's the PE is 666. Oh, that's scary. EPS 374. Here's all of the articles. This is why this is a great site if you're doing financial analysis. Here's all of the articles. This is a giant algorithm. And all it does is look for Big Five sporting goods in every publication there is out there. And it puts up the news. Why is it plunging 14% today? Right? Blowout earnings, now what? That's the Motley Fool. Do we care? Oh, I don't know. We might. But that's Big Five, and that's financial visualization. That's another one I use. I pay for this one, but it has a free aspect to it. TradingView. That's not me. No. You can sign in here. Roger that. I'm signing in. Sign in. What are you doing here? Doesn't like me. Okay. I don't care. Now, this I should have and HGV. There we are. So there's me in here, but like I said, so we go Big Five, and I have this wonderful Big Five sporting goods. It's going to show up here, and I can look very quickly through here. It gave me the chart. I don't really want the chart. Let's do this. See overview, BGFV. There's the overview. That's kind of a simple chart. It's got, different stuff here. I like it for the technical stuff, which is great. It's big sell over there, strong buy over there. Who knows what the truth is? And then it has this this chart thing that works pretty well. You can go 1 year of that and there it is. So that's another a more old and stodgy one is Morningstar. and I've used this for a long time too. Morningstar.com. And you can sign in there. I think you can start a free account there, but I have a premium. Either way, it's a good site. You could go BGFV, Big Five Sporting Goods. There's the company. Price versus fair value is what? 26.48. It's at 24. Okay, so it's a little bit undervalued. So that's another one. I'm just showing you this because I've found a way to quickly get around and find out the information that I need fast. And that's something that the other one I use, of course, is Seeking Alpha. This one I set up our portfolios in. This is just one. Come on now. Really? Okay. I guess it's going to make me sign into everything. This is a portfolio we put together a while ago, Dad and I. And you can see it's up pretty good today. That's good. Anyway, also I use Charles Schwab. And you can log into Charles Schwab for nothing. You don't have to open an account. And you can get information. Oh, God, really? This is always the way. Whenever you go somewhere new. 185,249. 185. So you can do that. And again, this freezes you out after all of this. We had a good day today. That's good. But the stocks are in here. You can see a lot of red ink here in the last few days. But they have a whole research section here that's really pretty fantastic. And you can go in and look at that. There's free stuff, for investing everywhere. But there's, you have to, if you're in nursing or you're in, some other genre, you'll find the websites that you want to use and practice using them and get good at it so that you can move around this stuff quickly. I think I'm gonna wrap it up and say, once again, have a plan for how you're going to do your schoolwork and execute that plan. But research-wise, there's never been a more incredible time to do research than there is now, and it just keeps getting better. The problem is what's bullshit and what isn't, okay? I read the Wall Street Journal every day, and I'm going to close with this. Every day. And I read the New York Times every day, and they're full of shit a lot. So what I need to do, if I don't trust what the media is telling me, I said that old adage, trust but verify. What can investors learn from the history of inflation? And if you don't know what inflation is, look it up. But oh God, it's making me sign into everything. I don't understand why it's doing that. Okay. Usually when you read an article in here, there'll be a reference to primary research. And you can find it. Inflation's on the rise, hitting some of the highest levels since the 80s. Back then, the Federal Reserve Paul Volcker killed off rampant price rises, hitting the economy hard initially. 50 years before Volcker, happier growth had followed. You can look this stuff up. You can look up Paul Volcker to see if they're telling the truth, right? But a lot of times, when you look through the articles in the Wall Street Journal, now Supreme Court rejects NCAA limits. You can look up the case law right? Supreme Court ruled unanimously that strict NCAA limits on compensating college athletes violate antitrust law. Okay, here's the that goes to another article. The court decision. It's going to give it to me. Decision didn't open up. Usually they'll have a link to the decision, but you can go on EBSCO or you can go to the Quigley Library and look up the decision once it's published. You can do that on LexisNexis or the new LexisNexis, whatever that is. So how interesting, the court decision. Oh, here it is. I'm losing it. Here it is. That is the court decision. Look at it. You're linked right to it from maybe a crappy periodical or a poorly written article. Or how about, I don't want to read this right-wing trope, right? You may say to yourself, the Wall Street, we used to call it the Wall Street Journal. I'm a libertarian. I don't have an axe to grind. I don't give a shit. I think all politics are corrupt. But nonetheless, the Wall Street Journal leans to the right. Just does. But you can read this document, right? You can read this document and decide for yourself what it says. And maybe what it says to you is that the Supreme Court is too far to the right. I don't know. But anyway, so colleges and universities across the country have leveraged sports to bring in revenue. Yeah, no shit. Right? Everybody knew that. What an interesting an interesting piece of information to have at your fingertips. So remember this SCOTUS case. How long is this? Long? I don't know. Maybe later. Oh, this came up on. It didn't come up on PDF. So that's what you want to do. You want to go to the source documents. Must I believe them? Right? You're trying to eliminate bias. You're trying to eliminate your own bias. I'm trying to eliminate my bias, right? I'm a free markets guy. And you can do that a lot by doing research, by going to the primary research. So history of inflation, look at all these things. Very interesting, right? How long can America keep borrowing? Isn't that interesting? Debt crisis grown far worse. When I had it, whoever this is, Carrie Danforth. These are two politicians. Do I have to believe them? Oh, but I can find out. Clinton asked us in '94 to share a bipartisan commission on entitlement and tax reform. And study the future of Social Security, right? There was a report, and you can find the report. I wonder if they don't link to it here, but you can find it, right? Let's see if we can find it. Clinton asked it to buy an entitlement and Social Security reforms were so politically fraught. Scale of the problem. So how would we look for that? Let's say Bob Carey Danforth 1994 report. You could even just Google it. Danforth Carey 1994 report on deficit. Danforth today released an update of the 1994 Commission report on entitlement and tax report. Okay, this is what happened today. Warned that the aging, put together an update in collaboration with the Concord Coalition. Okay, I wonder what the first report was. But anyway, that's how you go about this. That's how you go about going, okay, I want to find out some good information on this. What were they saying back in 1994 about debt? About the about this, right? What the hell were they saying about it? Okay? You know, we're at $28 trillion, right? I mean, that's an interesting subject. Oh, somebody looked at it. How long can America keep borrowing? This is a very scary question. Okay, so that's a little bit about how to do research, a little bit about how to maybe go about writing a paper, a little bit about study habits. You know, it's an overview. If you have questions, I'm available. Everybody knows where they get a hold of me, I hope by now. Please do so. I hope it hasn't been too boring. That's why it's a recording and you can fast forward through it. So there you are. Have a great day, and I will talk to you tonight, some of you, and others hopefully in other classes. See ya.